Megan Hicks of iRunFar. I'm with Mathieu Blanchard. It's the day after the 2021 UTMB where you finished third place. Congratulations, what a day.
Thank you very much. It was yesterday actually, and hopefully I have a lot of pain in my legs to realize what happened, because it's very difficult for me to realize what happened yesterday.
You said as we were walking to do this interview, you are on a cloud today.
I'm on a cloud today. I have a kind of fulfillness. Everything is perfect today. I'm full happy and I don't need anything.
You don't need anything. I love that.
I don't need anything. I'm super happy. My family is with me. I received thousands of message on my social network with a lot of love, and it's beautiful this day. You see, it's sunny as well, so this is the perfect day for me.
It's been a perfect weekend for you. This is iRunFar's first interview with you, so I'd love to know a little bit about you. Do you live in Canada?
I moved in Canada in 2014 for engineering opportunity.
Okay.
I was an engineer, and I'm still in Canada, but now, you know, as elite runner in ultra trail, I travel a lot for the race, and I decided to adopt a way of life where I go from a race to another, and I stay a long time there. So sometimes I will stay 1 month around the race, and then I will go in another country for another race. So I still live in Canada, but it's more my base camp. And I have also my another base camp in the south of France in my family house.
So you were born in the south of France, and for 7 years ago, you moved to Canada. And where in Canada is your base camp?
I'm in Montreal, downtown, but now I will go back in Montreal this winter. But I think I will move from the city because I want to live more in nature. So I still have my apartment in Montreal, but for sure I will move this winter in a cabin somewhere in the wood.
Somewhere out into the woods of Canada.
Exactly.
Okay, so I think iRunFar first learned about you and met you in 2017 when you came to iRunFar's home in Moab, Utah, as part of Solomon's trail running camp. Can you talk about your history with running?
Actually, I'm a baby runner. I started to run in 2014. Sorry, when I moved in Canada. I come from the ocean. My parents moved in Guadeloupe, one of the French islands in Caribbean. They went there to build a diving center. So I started my life there, the first 3 years of my life, and then my sport lives was in ocean. I did scuba diving, so now I'm a scuba diving instructor, kite surfing, windsurfing. And I love the sport with adrenaline, and you see, not for me endurance sports. I didn't like that. I didn't understand why people do that, for suffering, just for nothing. And when I arrived in Montreal, it was difficult for me to do scuba diving and kite surfing, you know. After my engineering school and my early career, I did a lot of party, and I was not in my best health. So I decided to start sport again in Montreal. And like everybody, on Sunday I took my running shoes and I started to run to get a better health. And it was for me a transition sport to find a good sport with adrenaline I will have in Canada. But I fall in love with running. And I didn't know anything about running and anything about trails, so I just started to run on road. And my passion from 2014 to 2016 was to do all the big marathon around Montreal with the big cities. So I went in Boston, New York, Montreal, Toronto, Ottawa. I did all this big marathon around. And in 2016, one of my friends proposed me to run a trail running race. It was a 20K in Quebec, in Canada, and I fall in love a second time with another sport which is a little bit different, which is trail running. And at the end of the year in 2016, I did my first ultra trail. It was 80K Ultra Trail Arikena, which was Ultra Trail World Tour, one of the race in September. And I remember in December, I saw a post of François Den on Facebook because I discovered all this guy when I started this trail, all the video on YouTube, and I saw this video of UTMB, and I said, one day I want to do that. And I do this ultra trail race, and I finished first. And then in December, when I saw the post of François proposing the Salomon Ultra Trail Running Academy, and I was like, I'm not the guy for that. I run only one race, one trail race, and we had a lot of questions from Salomon. How do you see as a runner? What is an adventure guy for you? What is the most inspiring runner for you? Lots of questions. I was like, I will not do it. And during the night, I thought of these questions, and on the morning, I had all the answer. And I decided to fill up the form. I sent it to Salomon, and then I forgot totally. And in the end of February 2017, I received an email from Salomon saying that I was in the selection of the Salomon Ultra Trail Running Academy. And I remember I was in my engineering office, and I jump and I scream in the office, and everybody look at me like, what is happening? And I was taken in the Salomon Ultra Running Academy. And after that, Greg Vollet explained me that they didn't look for already good or elite runner, but people with potential as the pure performance potential, and as well a personality. We had to send a video as well, and how we the energy we offer, and then this is why they took me like the other, and we were seven men and 7 women, so 14. We spent 1 week in March in Moab, and at the end of the week, they took only one guy and one girl to offer them a kind of sponsorship contract, and I was the guy in this. So my ultra trail running career for me started in March 2017.
Interestingly, though, in only 2018, you ran UTMB 100 miles for the first time. It was a fast progression for you.
Yeah, but I think that the fact that I did 3 years of marathon. You know, marathon on road, it's super hard on the body and on the mental, and I think it's a good school to learn running. And then yes, in 2017 I did my first 100 miles in July. This is, I think, the easiest 100 miles in the world, because it's on a gravel road, not a lot of elevation, 5,000 meters elevation on 100 miles, very runnable. So this is where I got the points to register to UTMB, and then the next year I went in UTMB as a baby ultra trail runner.
Even though you were, as you say, a young trail runner, you still came, I believe, 13th that year. Not such a bad performance for your first UTMB.
Yes, I was lucky enough this time that lots of elite runners dropped during the race. It was a crazy year as the weather. We got on the Col du Bonhomme, like wind, snow, rain. It was super cold, and lots of runners dropped. And this is the UTMB, as every year they got a huge fight during the nights, all the nights. And at Courmayeur, lots of runners stopped the race. Kilian, Jim, and all the best stopped there. And the outsider like me are not far behind, ready to get the place on
ready to pass.
To pass them, and this is what happens.
So 3 years later, after finishing 13th at 2018 UTMB. Now you finished 10 places higher and on the podium. To what do you attribute your huge improvement in 3 years?
Two things. First, I worked a lot since 2018. As a runner, I learn a lot because now I'm in the Salomon team and I learn a lot from the team manager, Greg Vollet, but the other top athletes as Francois and Kilian. I have the chance to discuss with them and they offer me lots of advices that are really good. And I think as an engineer, I love to learn. I learn fast, and I think I have read all the book about performance, running, nutrition, ultra endurance, and I learn a lot. And then I apply this theoretical on me, and I tried, and day after day I improve. And the other things is that in 2019, in January, I decided to do a big move in my life. It was to stop my engineering work. Actually, I didn't quit the engineering work because I love engineering. It's like resolve problem every day. But I quit the classic work organization, you know, when you have to work from Monday to Friday, from 8 to 6 every day. And if I wanted to improve my potential as a runner, I had to stop that because as an ultra runner, you have to adapt your calendar, your week. If I want to train early in the morning and then I want to sleep, I have to do that, you know. So I stopped this. It's crazy. My family was not super fan with that, but they saw in my eyes the stars that I want to try something in this sport because I'm so passionate about that, and I think I have a potential to improve, and I still improving my level every day. I train. I feel better than the day before. So I stopped, and I now work for the Running Clinic, which is a big company on training for health professional, and we have the particularity to have we can adapt our calendar. So if I want to work on Sunday, on Saturday, during the night, I do what I want. But there is running now in my life first, and I can organize around this, and this is one of the reasons I improve a lot the last 3 years.
Very good. Let's talk for a moment about how the race went on Friday and Saturday. It looked like for maybe the first marathon, 40 kilometers, you were very calm. You were kind of staying back, staying in contact with the leaders, but staying relaxed. Is that how it was for you?
Exactly, and it was a choice. Usually, I'm more an aggressive runner. I run in the front and I control the race in the front. This is where I'm comfortable. This is how I run. But this time, I knew that I was in my best shape in my life ever for UTMB because the last 6 months I was lucky enough to train without any injury, without any problem, and I did all my training every day. I slept well, I eat well, I thought well. So I talked with Greg Vollet, which is the team manager of Salomon. And I said, Greg, I'm in my top shape. I want to do something in this UTMB. I have it in my heart. What I have to do, and we discussed together. And he managed as well Francois, so he knew exactly what the strategy of Francois was, and I will not go in the accurate strategy, but he proposed me to run behind and controlling the écart, the difference time behind Francois. For example, at Saint-Gervais, I had to arrive 15 minutes behind Francois, and then in Contamine 20 minutes, and in Courmayeur 1 hour. So it was the first time for me running at the back and controlling this time, and it was perfect actually.
Yeah.
It was perfect for me because I felt good all the race, and it's crazy because it's paradoxal. I felt better all the race. I think it was a kind of negative split, no? I felt better at the second part than at the first part, and it's great to feel this sensation. Like the energy it's steady. You can accelerate. You can attack in the uphill, even at the last uphill. And yes, this is how I manage the race, and it works well.
It appeared that maybe around 50 kilometers into the race, maybe Les Chapieux or Col de la Seine, you went from being a bit further back in the top 20 to inside of the top 10. Were you aware of your positioning and like gradually getting closer, or were you just trying to manage yourself the whole time?
Actually, I just managed the strategy I had. It was the different time with Francois, with
Okay.
the front of the front of the race, and I didn't know anything about my position. And in one of the mountain, I don't remember which one, somebody told me, Matt, you are seventh, and I thought I was still 30, because I passed people who were maybe who dropped already. A lot of people dropped in the first 40K, and I passed a lot of runners as well in the aid station, because one of my strategies this year, I never did that before, was to never spend more than 1 minute in each
Very
aid
good.
station. In 2018, I stayed 12 minutes in Courmayeur. So
Okay.
and then in this race, I never stopped more than 1 minute in each aid station. And when you arrive in the aid station, there are lots of people, and you don't see where are all the runners. And sometimes you pass 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 runners in aid station, and you don't
You
see
don't
it.
know.
So then
Yeah.
you when you learn it. I feed myself with this energy when I knew the position, and when I passed all these runners who inspired me a lot in my life, like Jim, like Pablo Villa, like Dimitri, the Russian guy. And when I arrived behind them and passed them, I had a good word for them for sure. But I was like, whoa, I'm passing this guy is crazy, and I fed myself with this energy, and it brings me to where I arrived at the finish line.
Where did you find out you were in the position to podium at UTMB? Where did you ever learn that while you were out there?
Yeah, actually, when I get down from Grand Col Ferré, the way to La Foulie, I met Greg Vollet at La Foulie, and he told me that François, Aurélien, and Germain was in front of me, and that the three guys felt very bad. François has cramps in his muscle, and Aurélien and Germain didn't look good. So he said to me, Matt, you look so fresh compared to them. We are at 110K. They are still 70K to the end. You have something to do today. So this is the first moment I thought that maybe I could get to the podium, but it was unexpected for me. And I tried to stay calm when he told me that, because with the adrenaline, you can start to run too fast and to explode to blow out as well. So I started to run stronger and stronger, and I got on Germain on the uphill after Champé.
Okay.
He was totally done, and this is why I get to the podium. And then it was not finished, because
Yeah.
Greg told me that Francois felt very bad, so maybe he will, even if he's amazing, he's still a human. So I saw him sometimes in Diagonal des Fous with cramps, and it was only, he almost dropped the race, so maybe Francois could drop as well yesterday. And Aurélien felt super bad at Champé. We had 25 minutes difference, and I went up to 7 minutes difference. So in my head, I was like, imagine if Francois dropped and I get on Aurélien and finish first. What crazy! So I tried to didn't think about it, but it was a little bit in my head. But then at the end, I pushed a lot to try to get on them. But with the low lucidity, I started to make mistake, like my ankle,
Okay.
you know, and I was like, Matt, you are third at UTMB. You know the UTMB. This is the Olympic Games, the final World Cup of every sports in trail running. You should control and your podium and finish like that, and it will be the best day for you.
Did you allow yourself, like maybe the descent from Flagere or coming through town, did you let yourself, sort of stop playing the game and just soak in the experience of finishing third?
The I think it's the first time I realized it and I accept it. It was on the downhill to Valorsine because
Oh,
I thought about for the first time. You know, in ultra trail, you split the race 8 stations, and I thought about the finish line and maybe on the podium, and my stomach was like I start crying. I was like, no, don't do it, don't think about it.
too
It was
early, too
too early at
early.
the downhill of Valorsine, and it happened a second time at the last downhill again. This feeling in the stomach, and I still I cried a second time, but I was like, no, you are not at the finish line. The finish line is the finish line. And when I arrived with all the people cheering at me, I felt like the vibration here. It was crazy, and this is the second time I cried in my life at the end of the race. The first time was at UTMB as well in 2018 because I finished the race with my young brother who had an accident a few months before the race, and he almost died in the accident, and he lost a leg with a prosthesis, and the UTMB organizers was okay to let him run with me at the end of the race, and I was running with him only a few months after his accident, and it was the first time he showed him at the public without showing his prosthesis actually, and it was we had a lot of emotion for me and my family, and we cried, and this time I cried again because it was I saw Francois at the finish line like looking at me, and he arrived and he took my hand and he bring up my hand, and I remembered me the finish line with Kilian. He did exactly the same in 2017,
17, I think, yeah.
and was like, whoa, Francois is getting my hand like Kilian. I'm on the podium, and I cried.
Amazing.
Amazing.
I think that's a wonderful way to end this interview. Congratulations to you on your third place at the 2021 UTMB, Mathieu.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the community, and this is the start of a big dream, and I hope a new dream will arrive in the short future.
I love it.